Okay, good morning, class. This is November 30th, Monday morning. Just want to say hello again and hope everybody's doing well. Just want to remind everybody that I'm going to be out for the rest of this week, and I should be returning to live classes and live meetings next Monday, December 7th. So, for all of you who've been enjoying Mr. McLeod's company without me over this last week, I'm sorry, but this is your last week without me, so I'll be coming back. I'm posting a couple things for you guys to do. I'm going to walk through them really quickly today. It's not going to be, one of them is going to be new material, but shouldn't be too complicated. The other one is going to be sort of a repeat of stuff that we've been doing. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to jump back to the title font for a comic book. That assignment that we did quite a while ago now. Some of you have not submitted that or finished that, but obviously you can still do that. It was for last marking period as far as credit, but we're going to finish it and work on it now. So I'm just going to, not to pick on anybody, but this was where you were creating a sort of word mark, a sort of title for your comic book, and this was something that we were going to use, and now's the time for us to finally use it. I'm just going to use a student's example just for the thing. So for those of you who already did this, and it was like a title like at the top of a comic book, and you submit it, you just reuse the drawing that you've made. If you did not make this drawing, please do so. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to download that, and I'm going to go back to our old friend Photopea. Okay, and really there's not going to be too much new to know over here. All we're really going to do is we're going to color this in. I'm going to go to open from computer, and I believe it was image 20. There we go. Okay. Like we've done before, what you may want to do is go to image, adjustments, and the levels. Okay. With levels, then we can always sort of brighten up the white area. This will kind of make it a lot easier later on for us to cut this thing out and put it together. So what I did is I got to levels, go again to layer, image, adjustments, levels. Over here, what should pop up is the slider with this little bar graph. You'll see the top slider has a black square and a white square and a gray one. So the white one, I'm going to drag it over till my picture gets brighter, not so bright that it washes out my lines, but just gets rid of the rest of that sort of yucky yellow from the photograph. And then I can move the black one over to kind of darken up those lines. I'm going to hit OK. Now, this might just be an issue for one of you over here. You can see that his thing is like shot sideways. If for whatever reason your picture of this is turned the wrong way, we can always go to image, transform, and then under transform you're going to see rotate like 90 degrees, rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise, rotate 180 degrees. Let's try counterclockwise, and you'll see now it's turned it the correct way. And now we know we have our background. I'm going to lock my background, and I'm just going to create a new layer, and from here I'm just going to grab my paint. I'm going to call this whatever. I can make it whatever color I want. I'll call this one yellow. I'm going to take that layer, change it from normal to multiply, and just like we've been working throughout this entire process on coloring, you can start painting your word mark. Now, if you'd like to add shading to it or multiple colors and things like that, all of that is good. I want you to make it look good. I want you to make it a piece of work that you're proud of and that you enjoy, because we're going to be taking this and we're going to be combining it with our character, and we're going to be combining with the background to start making that comic book page, that finished comic book page. So we're going to have separate files that we've created ultimately that are going to, in the end, be put all together into one big project. So I'm not going to finish this, but I hope that you guys know from everything we're doing how to do this and what to do. Again, make sure that you're creating separate layers, that you don't paint on your background, and we'll go from there. Now, we're working on the title that's going to be one assignment, coloring in your title. For those of you who didn't make one of these, you'll make that as well. The other part of this thing is going to be finding a background. So we can look for a landscape. We can look for something like a sky landscape, desert, you know. You can find stuff that already looks like graphics, but when you find things like this with word marks, it really doesn't help us at all. So, something like this you could use, but what I'm going to show you is that if you don't find, let's say, a digital painting already to use, what I'd like to do is show you how we can kind of convert a regular photograph into this. And I think for my particular character, I want like an apocalyptic landscape. Okay, something that looks like it's been blown up. Now there's some digital paintings over here. Obviously I can steal, but we're gonna go with something that looks more like a photograph. Okay, and I'll pick this one. So I'm gonna save that. Let's roll onto my very, very, very messy desktop. And then I'm going to open up a new file in Photopea. So I'm going to go new tab, Photopea. And then what I'm going to do in Photopea is I'm going to open from computer. I'm going to find that project that I just saved. Let's see what it was called. There we go. So I've got my picture, my JPEG. I'm going to open it up. Can zoom in a little bit. And now I'm just going to do one simple effect on this. So if you get a photograph of, let's say, a landscape, a sunny day, mountains, whatever it is like that, we're going to take this image, all right, we're going to go under filter, all right, and we're going to go to filter gallery. And when it opens up over here, you're going to see it opens up in a new little window. It probably shrinks it down over here a little bit. I'm going to try to slide my fingers over here to zoom it up. I'm using 2 fingers on the trackpad to zoom in, zoom out. Right now it's called glowing edges. There is paint dabs, there is plastic wrap, there is sprayed strokes, there's splatter. There's a bunch of different things over here. I mean, you can play around, and if you like one better than the other, that's fine. I'm going to go to paint dabs, all right, and you're going to see over here you have some adjustments. You can make the size of those paint dabs a little smaller. You can adjust the sharpness of those. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of use the filter over here to kind of make this look a little less like a photograph and a little bit more like a smeared painting. That way when I put my character and my title on it, it doesn't distract from the actual picture, and it sort of blends in with my background. So I decided to use paint daubs. I will recommend that you use paint daubs for your background, but if for whatever reason you like one of these other filters, that's fine. Again, I went to paint daubs and I adjusted the size of the brush. You don't have to use my size or sharpness. You can adjust it on your own. What it came up at originally was 10 or 14 here, which looked a little too blurry. I moved it back down to maybe like 3, so it looks a little bit more recognizable, but it still is not a straight up photograph anymore. I'm going to hit OK. All right, I've got my my picture over here, and that's all I really needed to do. I'm going to go File, I'm going to save it as a PSD and put it as a side, and then when I go ahead and take a screenshot of it, just like we've screenshotted everything else, this time I want to make sure that not only do I include this picture, but I want you to include this side over here, not just your layers, but you'll see something above layers called History that says Filter Gallery. And when I can see that in the actual photograph, the screenshot, that'll let me know that you used a filter on the picture, that you didn't just straight up take it. So for those of you who are working on, once you're done finishing coloring up your title, you can go ahead and find a background. All you're going to do is bring that background into Photopea on its own. You're going to go apply the filter on it, paint daubs preferably, but if you like a different one, you can use a different one. All we want to do is kind of get a little effect like we're creating a sort of fake painting for the background. and then we're going to make sure that we save that as a PSD and that we screenshot it. So you've got 2 assignments. It is to find and create a background for your picture and to color in your title card. All right, and I'm going to leave you guys for most of the week to do that. I'll give you more than enough time than you need for it. So if you're still coloring your villain, if you're still working on some of the other elements, please finish those things up, get them handed in so we can just move on. And again, I'll see you guys next Monday. All right, have a really good day, a really good week, and enjoy your time with Mr. McCloud without me. Bye.